So there you are, a roof over your head, a decent job, no major crisis. Objectively, your life is fine, or maybe even good. So why does your brain make it feel like something is wrong? Well, the truth is, it might be your very comfort that is creating your misery. Because I think so often that when your life lacks real challenge or purpose, your mind, it doesn't sit quietly, and instead it starts inventing problems. And the reason is that I think in reality, we're not built for constant ease. We're built for progress and effort and meaning. And so in this video, we're going to talk about why comfort might lead to disconnect and how you can break free from that spiral. And so firstly, we need to understand the problem with modern comfort. And so if we were to think back thousands of years ago, we could actually realize that really we have evolved for survival, because thousands of years ago, say, we would have been roaming around in tribes, and right then it would have been really trying to make sure that we fit in with our tribe and don't do or say anything wrong, or there would have been a lot of problem solving that we would have had to do to make sure that we do survive, and there would have been real threats from predators around us, and so there would have been this constant threat to our survival, and so we would have been alert to really just trying to stay alive and do all of the things that will make us survive. But now, in a modern society, we live in comfort and we don't have all of these different threats to our survival. However, that problem-solving threat radar in our brain, it doesn't just turn off, and instead it will start looking for other things to sort of latch onto and other meaningful, purposeful challenges to work towards. The problem then comes if it can't find anything, because our brain, it just doesn't like to sit quietly, and it is kind of always tick, 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 looking for things to find. And so if it doesn't then find anything, it almost starts creating problems for ourselves, and we'll just start manufacturing these problems. And these problems, it can come in all different forms. Maybe it's we just start fixating on some uncertainties that might be going on in our life, or we just start thinking that some issues are these really massive problems when in reality they're not. And this can lead to all different types of feelings of just sadness or anxiety. And in reality, nothing is actually going that wrong in our lives, but it is just our mind creating these problems for us. And I think one of the worst times in my life where this seemed to kind of happen to me was after university when I was 21. And when you kind of finish university, you're almost told now it's time to get your life together and you need to have everything figured out. But for me, I didn't really have things figured out, and I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go with my career, and probably didn't even really understand myself fully. And I was taking this gap year after university, so didn't really have, that much going on. And at that time, that was the worst time where I started to experience some levels of anxiety. And I don't know if it was all down to just because I didn't have that much going on, but I think that was a big part of it, because I didn't really have any of that real direction or meaning or purpose to work towards within my life. And so the real point with all of this is that when there's no real stimulus for the mind to latch onto, it almost starts to atrophy, and instead it will fill that space with noise, and that noise can often be negative. And so we've identified the problem, and so what is the antidote? Well, the antidote, in my opinion, is to really try to channel your energy into meaningful goals and meaningful pursuits, and to find that meaning within your life. But what I would say here is that I'm not trying to say that you need to fill every second of your day with doing things constantly. And it doesn't need to be extraordinary goals that you need to be working towards. It just needs to be things that you find genuine meaning in. Maybe you love gardening and your garden is your passion and that is your absolute pride and joy. Or maybe it is really just trying to be the best family member that you can, the best husband, wife, father, son, brother, sister, whatever. That could really be what you find a lot of meaning in. Or maybe you just want to get in the best shape of your life. The point here is that it doesn't really matter how big or small these goals are. It just needs to be things that genuinely mean something to you, and things that you can find genuine meaning in and latch onto. And so for me, there's almost three main buckets of things that I would say I get meaning from. So first is my family. I absolutely love my family and always want to make sure that I prioritize spending enough time with them and never want to neglect any of those relationships. The second thing is exercise and sport. Like, that's always been a big passion of mine, and I really enjoy exercising, and I know that I always feel better when I am in a good routine with that. And so like exercise and sport is something that I also want to prioritize and kind of do pretty much every day. And then the third thing is like having like a meaningful pursuit that I can work towards. And I'd say at the moment that is my YouTube channel. It's something that I really am deriving a lot of pleasure out of, and it is like a real challenge and something that I can really put a lot of my energy in. And so, as I said, it doesn't really matter what the things are for you, but the point is really that the mind thrives with having some sort of purpose, not endless comfort. And so try to just figure out where that purpose can come from for you. So there you have it. So if you are just not feeling great, maybe you are feeling a little bit anxious, depressed or sad, but you're not really sure why, try to really look for things in life that will bring you some meaning. Because when your mind is busy with meaning, it stops being so good at creating noise. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found some of that useful, and I'll see you in the next video.